Hello to all you poker people out there, and welcome back to the nerdy and nitty gritty side of poker. I want to quickly go over the last session I played. I played a session on Thursday where I played a 30,013 hands. I lost $41 approximately, and I should only have lost like $18. And then I just want to show you how far I am in the challenge until now. Until now I'm 5,000 hands in. Approximately I won $64. I should have been winning $131. There is an average all-in of equity of 58, and if we can keep that high, I'll be really happy. But some people will say that you shouldn't put too much stock in these numbers. Some people will even say you should not put any stock in these numbers at all. I like to use them for what I think they are worth, but in reality, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot about how good you are, what level you play on. It doesn't really even tell you too much about how lucky or unlucky you are. So be careful. But what I want to talk about today is that I have been struggling the last couple of days, and what I do to overcome the struggles. I set up this channel, which was new to me. It took me some time to figure out how to set up the channel, what I should call it. Took me a lot of time to figure out how to shoot these videos, and I know it doesn't look professional at all, but I think it's good enough for this. It took me a lot of courage to throw it out and put myself out there. So those things have kind of been energy and mentally draining for me. And then since that session on Thursday, I kind of just fell into a hole where I didn't get things done. I mean, I did my job out in real life, and I tried to get some things done, but it wasn't with the energy level that I wanted to. And it happens once in a while that I fall down to these holes, and I want to talk a little bit about how to pick myself up again. Now, throughout my life, I have taken many turns where I have trying to figure out how to be more efficient and effective with the different things I am trying to achieve in life. And last year, I had like 6 months where I worked really hard on trying to eliminate bad habits and figure out good working routines and stuff like that. And during that process, I, for example, made this office where I work with poker and different other things in my real life work. I set up this office so it's really nice. I clean it on a weekly basis. I never have empty cups, empty plates standing on my desk. It is like I've tried to prime this room so I take this poker thing serious. Carl Newport have written a book called Deep Work. I think he has something called the Grand Gesture or something like that, where you kind of make something really worth it that will really prime the work you do there. He mentioned a couple of different people who have done that either by coincidence or by purpose. But kind of that's what I've done here, really make my working environment for this kind of work really nice and attractive, so I take it seriously. I also, during that process, have ended up having some kind of a whiteboard, some white paper where I can write down different things that is important to me, new ideas or goals I have short and long term. And for example, when I started out with this second 100,000 hands challenge to play on Limit Omaha 25 fast games. I wrote down that I want to play 100,000 hands more to really nail down my pre-flop fundamentals and try and work on my fundamentals in my post-flop game. And then I wrote down I want to create this YouTube channel to kind of document the process, try and throw a helping hand out, some inspiration out, what kind of struggles I go through, what kind of working method I have to get this job done and to reach my goal, which is to become as good as a poker player, a Limit Omaha player as I can. Now, I want to address this thing about setting goals. I think if not most people, then way many two people set goals in an inspired moment. And what you very often end up doing is like you maybe start out and in poker and you end up these numbers getting skewed or running bad, you're running too good. There's can be all kinds of things that set you back, and you end up not reach your goal that you had set out. And what will happen in that process is that you will end up being very good at setting goals in inspired moments, and then you will create a habit where you set up goals in inspired moments and then you fail to reach the goals. That will be a habit, like with that circle you go into, like setting up goals, ending up not achieving them or getting close to it, and start a new one, and so on and so forth. So when you set goals in your life and in poker, then what I really would recommend, I gotta get a sip of this coffee, or what I do is I start to write down what is it I want. Start to figure out, is this aligning with where I want my life to be in a longer term. I try and figure out, is this connected to my inner feelings? And what I do, I kind of write it down and I rewrite it over a day, I rewrite it over a week, maybe over 14 days. And when you keep rewriting and go back to look at this goals, then you kind of cook down what is the essence of what it is you want with this. And then at some point you will kind of see what is it you shall, how shall you define this goal. And you will also in that process probably figure out a bunch of ways to get to that goal. And what the goal can do for you is that when you struggle, as I've been doing the last couple of days, when you fall down in that hole where you go back to your bad habits or your bad routines, and then you can look at that whiteboard or that paper or that memory during that writing process and say, okay, now I'm doing something that's not aligned with my goal. And looking at that, then it's kind of easier to get back up on that horse and work towards your goal. And then in that process, it is also there exactly you should use inspiration. I don't care if you get your inspiration from a motivational speech from Arnold Schwarzenegger, or if it is from a hand that Tom Dwan has played in some kind of game you see on YouTube, or if it's some kind of businessman who has achieved something special. Wherever you get your inspiration from, it doesn't matter as long as it makes sense to you and it inspires you to work towards your goal. Then it works. So that was kind of my point of today's video, is be thorough and specific and work hard when you set your goal. Don't do it in an inspired moment, but really take your time to set your goal And then when you have your goal lined out, then you use inspiration in those times of period when you struggle to reach your goal. So that was it for today, and I will wish you all the best of luck in life.